Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. First of all, I'd just like to apologise for not posting for a little while. Things have been exceptionally busy due to copy season and all that. I mean, we're finally coming to the end of copy season now, so things are starting to slow down. But yeah, it's been exceptionally busy, so it's been a bit difficult to try and find the time to do it. There was a little review really. On my thoughts and opinions of my trusty Husky. This has been my predominant saw now for two years. Bought it back in 2019, I believe, latter part of 2019, early part of 2020. So it was a new model at the time. First new Husqvarna that I've purchased. Before this, I was using stills. So yeah, this was my first new Husqvarna. I've used older Husqvarnas in the past, some of the older models, but I never got on with them. I was never a lover of the older Husqvarnas, the build, the way they felt. They just weren't a bit of me. I hated the way that the chain brakes were, the single-sided mount. So hence why I always use steel. But it's a personal thing. But yeah, so anyway, this was the first one I bought. Purchase price is roughly around about £500 so these are a mid-range sort of professional saw. They're sort of smack bang in the middle, really. But it's a 59.8 cc displacement. They produce 58.9 cc, which is 3.5 kilowatts. For the sort of the American market. They are as standard when they're naked, so no bar, no chain setup. The weight is around about 6.1 kilos, so slightly on the sort of weightier side, but I feel for sort of what you get, it's certainly it's no real issue. The X-Torque, another one of the items on these saws, again with many other saws nowadays, is Autotune. So they come basically with there is no manual adjustment on the carb. Everything is done, so the carburetor itself is controlled by a little ECU that controls mixtures. It controls the running. There is no manual input whatsoever to the running and the adjustment on the saw. Again, it is designed so that it takes a step away from you, and it also reduces time spent making adjustments. For especially on the stills and stuff, colder climates and altitude. You had basically the winter slide that was in the carburetor, that you had to, depending if you was working below a certain temperature, that had to be spun round. So this just simplifies everything. There's none of that on you. You literally turn up. It doesn't matter about humidity. It doesn't matter about temperature. It doesn't matter about altitude. You simply turn up, pull her over, and once she's going, the saw controls and changes. It changes itself to make sure that it's running optimum. So yeah, Auto-Tune feature. The one big thing that has been a massive plus point for these saws, and it's probably the one thing that surprised me and sort of impressed me the most in comparison to the stills, is the acceleration and just the general performance of these saws. They do have the Rev Boost technology, which again is Husqvarna's technology to basically maximise the sort of the rev speed, the pickup speed, the acceleration. But it's phenomenal how quick they get up to speed, and how responsive they are to the throttle. Fantastic, really impressed with those. So yeah, Rev Boost. They also come. These also have fuel pump. So there's none of that gravity or vacuum fed carburetor. They do actually run a fuel pump, so it reduces the chance of fuel starvation, X, Y, Z. They have a centrifugal air injection system, which runs off of the flywheel just under the pull cover here. That just helps to increase the amount of air getting into the engine. So again, makes it it's just maximising performance. All of the framework that you can see, so all of the the silver areas on the saw, everything is magnesium. So it's basically to maximise strength and durability, but also keep weight to a minimal. Saws like this, pro saws, and even due to your cosmetic saws, weight is a massive it's a massive part of the saw. Having a saw that performs well but weighs a ton is not a good thing. You've got to try and find that happy medium where you've got a good performing saw but one that doesn't weigh. It's not stupidly heavy, because working with it all day, the heavier the saw, the quicker you're going to fatigue, the slower you're going to go, so your productivity goes down, your efficiency goes down. And in the trade, it's all about being efficient, it's all about being productive. The old saying that time is money, it really is. So, but again, it is a slightly heavier saw at 6.1 kilo, but for what you get and how it performs, I feel that that is justifiable. They, I believe, come with a 2-year standard warranty, but I believe that from a commercial point, that is reduced to 12 months. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that, but I believe it's 12 months on a commercial warranty, which arguable, would you expect better, maybe, but saying that, I've had no issues. I've had no issues with this saw whatsoever, apart from your general servicing and maintenance. It's been fantastic. It's been a brilliant saw. There was actually an ash tree that I was cutting that, due to error, my lack of experience, the resulting was that there was quite a spectacular barber chair, shall we say. A little bit of a query moment for myself, but nonetheless, you sometimes you have to make your own mistakes to to learn and to move forward, and that it was just out of it was a sheer luck, I suppose, that it was actually that I decided to video. Originally it was only for my own purpose, but yeah, I videoed it, and obviously we had the barber chair, and then I decided that I'll share it, because at the end of the day, if I could watch it back, and I could see where I went wrong, and how I could improve and how I could stop it from happening again, I thought that maybe other people out there could as well. So hence why I posted it, and I mean I've had a little bit of flack from it, but it's deserved. It is deserved. But like I say, most important thing moving forward, you learn from it. But anyway, let's moving on. It's worked alongside me through ash, chestnut, oak, most tree species that we get here in the UK. Never had a problem. On the 20-inch bar, it's fine, it's perfect. It can take it, tolerate it. It runs quickly, efficiently. On an 18-inch bar, though, I will say it is a completely different animal. It's amazing how much difference there is. You have it on an 18-inch bar, and also it does make it slightly lighter. But it was just the areas that we were working, and it just to have it on a 20-inch setup was a lot more versatile for me. You know, we had a real wide range of size in trees, and you know they range anywhere from sort of small saplings, and then we were going up to especially you know we were working saplings all the way up to you know sort of 4 or 5 foot. You know the main the base of the trunk. So I found having it on a 20-inch setup was just a lot more versatile. We were there for a number of months, so we sort of only came back. We finished that contract in October of last year. I had a few more smaller jobs and that to get on with between then and Christmas, and then basically since Christmas just been smashing out on the copies. So yeah, it's been exceptionally busy, but trusty Husky, she's been there with me all the way. Like I say, absolutely no problems. Some of the features that I absolutely love about these saws is just the little design things that sort of Husqvarna have come up with, and I just find that they're small, but they make a big difference. You've got your quick release catches on your covers, and again you've also got a quick release catch. So you literally just pop your screwdriver in and pop them out, and that's it. Your case comes off. Again, on the air filter, you've also got the same thing. Quick release catch, pop it off, air filter's off. She's good to go. It reduces time. You know the time spent in trying to unscrew, and you know you get all these little Torx bolts. Stuff like that, and especially ones that you know on the steels and that I've found in the past, especially the ones that go into the your top of your pot. They you know they often get seized up, and you're trying to unscrew them, and you know they round off. It just is a nightmare. So with these, nice, quick, simple, fast, efficient. You know, simple but effective. It's like the filler caps. You know, very simple, flip the lid, unscrew, fill, tighten back up, flip it down. You look at Steel's caps, and they're this complicated design of, you know, flipping up, hot quarter turn, pulls off, fill up, and all that stuff. And I guarantee you that there's a number of people out there that, you know, myself included, whether that makes me a dummy or I don't know, but you fill it up, you stick your cap on, you think, yeah, lovely old job, it's all tight, you stand up, cap falls off and you lose tank fuel. The caps just seem like they're overcomplicated. You know, it's a cap. That's all it is. These, you unscrew it, you do it back up. Job done. Don't reinvent the wheel. They're simple, they work. Brilliant. Some of the things that I don't, or I have found that could possibly do with improving. Whether it is just me, obviously I know that a lot of time, money is invested into research and the development of parts and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So quite possibly is just me. Like I say, this video is simply just about my view, my opinion. It in no way is affiliated with Husqvarna. I'm not sponsored. It's just me. I've used it, and I just wanted to share my views with you guys. The chain brake, I've had now 3 chain brakes on here, and I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but every time on both of them they've cracked up here, and then the crack basically runs all the way up and it just carries on. So this is my 3rd chain brake that I've had on. Each and every one's done the same. So I don't know whether it's just the fact that I'm just exceptionally heavily handed, but I don't think it is, because I've consciously I've tried to not be heavy handed with it, because I thought at first maybe that was the cause. So it just seems like that, you know, maybe there's a little bit of a weak spot there, and maybe that needs a little bit of attention to try and stop that from happening. Again, this is the same across every brand of saw, whatever, it's not just Husqvarna, is felling sights. Now, over the years, I would have thought that some improvement would have been made with the durability of the felling sights. I mean, you can see there that that's your main felling sight on your pull cover, and then it continues over the top of the saw on the top cover. Top cover 9 times out of 10 is always fine because it doesn't get a lot of wear. It doesn't get a lot of abuse. Whereas the pull cover, especially on my saws, I tend to carry them on my left, but I carry them with the bar facing behind. So the pull cover is always sort of on my hip. So I tend, they do get abuse. But I would just maybe like to see, felling sights that just seem to be a bit more durable. Seem to last a bit longer. Because like I say, they never seem to. And it just, when you're using the saw, when you've got nice, clean, sharp black lines, your eyes just pick them up that much quicker. You just pick it up, you see it, and you're like, right, yeah. And again, it's just making everything that you do more. The other thing that I know is it kind of seems very minor, but so you've got the safety stickers of the saw. Now, safety stickers on machinery and equipment are actually considered a safety feature of the saw, and on certain sites, due to health and safety, over here it's really quite strict, and this is all taught on your courses, your CS30 and 31 and stuff. That little sticker is technically a safety feature of the saw. So if you go somewhere, you've got an HSE inspector on site, wants to see your equipment, your tools, your machinery, blah, blah, blah. In theory, if that sticker's missing, your saw isn't fit for use. It's not fit for purpose. So that can actually, by that sticker not being there, can be a major issue. The adhesive that Husqvarna seem to use on those stickers seems to be pretty crap. I've had to re-stick it a number of times with just glue and bits like that. Whereas again on steel saws, I've had some real ancient steels, and the stickers, they're like tar. Even if you try to get them off, you can't. Whereas these just seem to, it doesn't cope with, and I know they get covered in a bit of water and some oil, some petrol and stuff like that. I know it's a little bit harsh, but be considering what the machine is, they should be designed to be able to cope and tolerate with those things. So that is something that I would like to see an improvement on, because like I say, although it is something so small, it is just a sticker, it is actually a very important part to the machine. So yeah, certainly some improvement there. Other than that, as an overview on the saw, as I said earlier, I absolutely love it. It was my first steel, or my first new steel, and I could honestly say through the use of this, I would now continue to use Husqvarna products. I think value for money is better. You don't pay quite the premium that you do for steel products. Also, I don't know whether it's just me and my experiences, but I've had some very positive experience with Husqvarna themselves. Whenever I've contacted them with regards to issues or parts or whatever, they've always been brilliant. And it just helps to build that that relationship, not necessarily with the people, but with the brand. And you through that you then build confidence. You build confidence with the machine, and you also build confidence with the people that make them. And that's a very important thing. Everyone can sell your product, but it's the people that actually stand by it, and more importantly, stand by it when it goes wrong. and they stand by you. They stand by the customer. You know, the person who spent their hard-earned money with them. You know, you see it all too often nowadays where you get these salesmen that are absolutely fantastic salesmen. You know, they can sell ice to an Eskimo, but afterwards they don't want to know. And that's something that really gets under my skin. And especially, you know, things like this, machinery, equipment, none of it's cheap. None of it is cheap. You know, so when you're paying that sort of money for something, you expect a certain level of you know, service. And you just see it all too often these days that unfortunately a lot of places you don't get that. Whereas, you know, so far, touch wood, I've had very good experiences with Husqvarna. So that certainly helps. But yeah, you know, going forward, I'd stick with Husqvarna products. Yeah, they aren't the cheapest, but on the market, they're cheaper in comparison to steel products. But what you get out of it is you get a very durable, all-round performance machine. They perform well, they respond well. There's not really a huge amount I don't like about it. The ergonomics of the saw, you know, they handle lovely. They're very well balanced. They just feel great in the hand. And again, that's something that with steel, I've often found they felt quite clumsy. They weren't that fluid. You know, they kind of just swanned about in your hand. Whereas these is kind of like, you know, you're working with a little butter knife. You can move. They just feel great. Like I say, everything on here, you know, there's people that will watch this that you know, will probably completely disagree. This is solely personal opinion. It doesn't mean that I'm right and others are wrong. This is simply just my experience and my thoughts. So yeah, you know, you've all got to kind of make your own opinion, get your own experiences. Some of you may use Husqvarna, absolutely hate them. Some of you may love them. Some of you, you know, vice versa. There's so many different things. And there's so much stigma these days with brands, and you know, people going, "Oh, still suck. Husqvarna's the best." I simply don't believe any of that. I just think at the end of the day, if you like a product, you like a product. That's it. You're not right. You're not wrong. It works for you. So if it works for you, you stick with it. So yeah, that was. I hope you guys find it interesting, and you know, it's been useful to you. I don't know if you're looking in the market to look at buying something like this or this saw in particular. You know, I highly recommend it. For anyone that is in the UK, I don't know if they shop abroad or anything like that, but anyone in the UK who's looking for saws and stuff, one company that I would recommend is FR Jones and Son. They're based in London, but you know, they do all online sales and stuff. Again, it's not sponsored, affiliated by them. They're just a company who I've used, and they've been really good with me. They're very comprehensive on their pricing. They've got very good stocks. You know, they've got basically anything from PPE to chainsaws, hedge cutters, lawnmowers, forestry silage, forestry tools, pickaroos, sappies, axes. You know, just got a real comprehensive range of yeah, sort of agricultural equipment really. So they're definitely a great one to check out. Like I say, it's FR Jones and Sons. Just pop them in on Google, you'll find them pretty easily. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, any comments or questions, please pop them in the comment section below. Please feel free to like and share. And if you really want to, subscribe, because it you know, it does certainly help out. But if there's anything that you want to see, just pop it in the comments, and you know, certainly we can look at making more videos in the future of some of your guys' suggestions. So, all right, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.